StoryTime. Say what's your bottle type, applying pressure. I'm being honest with you when I talk, I'm not finessing. I'm looking in your face, I'm having thoughts of you undressing. Throw the combo, nicely combo, got me erect.
What's good, my Alicia squad? What's good, my squad? This your girl Alicia, and I'm back once again with another banger. So today, I am doing a Q&A for y'all, okay? And please don't mind my hair, because my hair will be, done today. But today I have my computer here to basically ask y'all, I'm gonna read some questions off of here, and I'm going to basically answer some of the questions, okay? It's basically like a Q&A. Well, it is a Q&A. But before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up and turn the notification bell on so you can't miss me dropping bangers back to back. You feel me? So I don't know why I said it like that, but let's go ahead and get straight into the video. All right, y'all, so let's get straight into the video. Case may be, make sure you get this video to 500. Get this video to 500, and I will do another banger for y'all guys. And make sure you share this video, like this video, share with your mama, granny, cousin, uncles, aunties, friends. Like, just share the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, and turn the notification bell on so you can miss no videos that I post every single day. Okay, let's get straight into it. Okay, so this basically is like a Q&A slash telling y'all how me and such broke up, but that little spice to it. Okay, so would losing me hurt you? First of all, when I lost him, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It kind of hurt me because we both did some stupid stuff. We both did some stupid, like, outrageous stuff, and when we did some outrageous stuff, we both did not mean, hold on, y'all, I'm trying to turn down the brightness. We both did not mean for us to go how it did, and what he did, I didn't know until after the fact we broke up. And what I did, but that is for almost, this video gonna be long, so this video, they're gonna be at the end of the vlog. But would losing me hurt you? We broke up, so I kind of felt like, okay, yeah, like, me losing such, it kind of hurts me because it's just like, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. And what he did, I couldn't blame him for that, or he couldn't blame me what I did for that, because we all make mistakes. So for him to not understand what I was saying, it kind of like triggered me a little bit. But at the end of the day, that's why I'm trying to make stuff work now. But he moved on, and it's time for me to move on. And at the end of the day, y'all, no matter what you and your partner is going through, no matter what, because me and him wasn't even going through, like, we wasn't even going through nothing. Like, this was the first time that we ever actually went through something. But that's a story time for another video. This is just like a Q&A slash me telling y'all the story, how we broke up, and actually what happened in our relationship. And I'm gonna take y'all back all the way back from Yeah. When did you realize you were in love with me? Love with him, I mean. I realized when I was really in love with him. Because y'all, don't get me do not get me to a point where like, oh, it's because he bought me stuff for Christmas. Oh, he bought me food. Oh, he this and he that. He's a very gentleman. Let me just put his name out there. So y'all, do not bash him for the stuff that me and him did. Don't bash me. Don't bash him. Because at the end of the day, like I said, everybody make mistakes. And we have to learn for our mistakes, what we did. And I learned from my mistake. And I hope he learned for his. But at the end of the day, don't bash us because everybody made mistakes. Everybody, okay? But don't even bash him because he did a lot of shit that kind of triggered me. It kind of made me want not to be around him. But, you know, at the end of the day, I put that stuff behind me because, y'all, look. I graduated. You feel me? I graduated. So, I put that stuff behind me and I let that stuff go. And I understand, like, okay, cool. You know, he's still in high school. You know, he's still in high school, but he's a 12th grader this year, y'all. So, you have to realize, okay, like, cool. Like, people, I believe in the second chance, right? I believe in the second chance. Like, that's no matter what. They go for anybody, anything. So, like, me personally, I truly, understand where he was coming from after we broke up and we sat there and talked about it. We did what we did. We sat there and talked about it. We sat there and did, you know, kept going back and forth or whatever. But like I said, it's almost at the end of the video. But when I realized that I was in love with him, y'all, it's not because of money. It's not because of, oh, he bought me this and he bought me that and this and that. Y'all, appreciate what a man do for y'all. At the end of the day, that was a good man, y'all. Like, he's a good man. And I will never sit here and doubt him wrong, like, oh, he was not a good man. He was a fantastic man. He was a man that can really step up for you. Like, but when people was sitting there, was talking about me, sitting there doing this and sitting there doing that, like Malisha's a bad person, he didn't say shit to them. My bad for the cussing, but he didn't say nothing to them. At the end of the day, no matter what, if y'all in a relationship, I feel like in that, and if somebody talking about your partner, I feel like you should step up and be like, hey, don't talk about her. Or, hey, don't do this. Or, hey, don't do that. You know? But everybody have to realize that what he did at that moment, yes, it kind of triggered me. And when people kept coming up and saying, oh, yeah, such, then when somebody kept talking about you, such didn't step up and say this to them. Like, that kind of triggered me because that's my partner. You supposed to say something. You supposed to say something to them. Say something to them. If I'm not around and somebody talking about you, honey, baby, I'm quick to say something. But you didn't realize when people was talking about you, when me and you was in a relationship, who had your back? I did. The times where people kept saying you was 200 or something, your waist size was 200 or something, baby, who stepped up for you? I did. So that when me and you was together, when me and you wasn't together and they kept talking shit about you, I was there. No matter what it was, if it was that person, this person, I'm not gonna put no names out of who was talking shit about you, but at the end of the day, no matter what, I was there. The times that when me and you broke up and they was still talking about you, I stepped in and was like, hey, y'all, don't sit there and talk about him like that. Everybody has their little part. Not like everybody had that shit, had them things, right? So at the end of the day, no matter what a person go through, you don't know what people go through, you know? So when I realized, when I loved him, in love with him, is when, you know, he was a good person. I realized, I looked in his eyes and you know, I can tell when people's a good man, or, you know, when people got that good vibe on them. So what made me fall in love with him, it was just like, dang, like, he is a good person. I would never doubt him. I would never say, oh no, he didn't do this for me. Oh no, he didn't do that. What hurt me the most is because you sat here and met my parents and sat here and just met my whole family. It kind of triggered me. So it was just like, okay, you can bleed in, but at the end of the day, no matter what, me and you in a relationship. It's me and you or them, y'all two. No matter what, I feel like you should always believe your partner. But, you know, stuff happens. But yeah, that's when I realized that, you know, I was in love with him because he was a good person. He was a good, you know, he was just good in general. I love how the way he treat me. Like, every time we go somewhere, he opened the door for me. When me and my mama was somewhere, he followed me and my mama. And when I was mad, and like one day when I was mad and my mama was in Walmart, my brother was in Walmart, and I was just in a car, honey, he zoomed up there, you feel me? He zoomed up there and opened my door and was like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's when I realized that I felt I'm in love with that person. Don't get me wrong, I'm still in love with that person. But I have to realize that he moved on, so it's time for me to move on. And, you know, it's just time for me to move on because he moved on with somebody, and it's time for me to move on at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, I still love you, boo. Period. How do you feel when we apart? I feel depressed. Well, let me back up. When me and him is like not together and we broke up and stuff like that, I felt like, you know, and we can't see each other like that. I really feel like that, you know, it's kind of hard for me to like separate myself away from that. And it's hard for me to like call him, text him and stuff because, like I said, he moved on, so it's time for me to move on. But at the end of the day, I feel like that, you know, it always make me sad. And what made me sad the most and regret what I did in the relationship is because my mom and dad, they really liked him. They really did. They really liked him for the way he did stuff. They really liked him for the way he treat me. And I feel like we all make mistakes. So that's what kind of hurts me the most is when my mama and dad ask or be like, you need to try to get back with Keontae. I put his name out there so y'all know who I was talking about. But, you know, at the end of the day, no matter what, nobody can speak on how he really, you know, truly understood about the situation. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, I would never down him. I would never say, oh, he wasn't there. Oh, he wasn't this and he wasn't that. I couldn't say that because at the end of the day, I know what he did. At the end of the day, I know what, you know, what made him to be a better man. Even though he was a better man, even though he was there for me, even though he was doing stuff for me that I never asked him to do. Okay? Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Because I was going to go deep and deep and deep. Do you hope to get married one day? Yes, I really hope that I do get married one day, and I really hope that I can find another man just like him. Yeah. Oh, my head. I don't see no more questions. What's your favorite thing about him? My favorite thing, like I said, my favorite thing was that he did stuff that I never asked him to do. That was my favorite thing about, favorite thing about him. Yeah, I don't see no more questions or nothing. So now it's time for me to talk about what happened in our relationship and why did we break up. So, why did we break up? No, let's take it back. Why did we hold on, y'all. Okay, forget that. Why did we what happened in our relationship to cause us to break up? First, all I want to say is that what happened in our relationship for us to cause us to break up is one day. It was before we even graduated. Class of 2026 graduated. It was before we graduated. One day, he walked me to class, such, whatever. One day, it was before my ex-boyfriend came back from Houston to down here, because he was down here, but then he moved to Houston last summer, and he went to school in Houston. Then he came back. So back it up some. One day I was in second period and just scrolling on TikTok, not on TikTok, on Instagram. And I basically saw on my ex-boyfriend notes that he said he might be coming back to Marshall. Now, it was like during my senior year. So it's like in the middle of that, right? So he came back the next day, or I want to say not the next day, but the next day after that, he came back. And he had his schedule. He was walking with his friends. He was this, he was that. And I guess one of his friends, which Tristan, I'm going to just put that out there. Tristan went back and told Kimani, which my ex-boyfriend, that me and Keontae was kissing. Me and Keontae was in the hallways walking with each other. Me and Keontae was, holding hands and stuff like that. That's when he went back and told Kimani. So during fifth period, when he was coming up for lunch, I walked him to class or whatever case may be. Cool. I walked Keontae to class or whatever. This was before everything got started. Walked him to class or whatever, because remind you, I had B lunch. He had A lunch. So he was already up. B lunch didn't go to lunch until like 11:45. A lunch go to lunch around like 10 something. So when they came up, it was already time for B lunch to go to lunch. Remind you, when they came up, it was like 11:16. We don't go to lunch until 11:45. You feel me? Or 11:46. It was somewhere around there. 11:45 or 11:46, we went to lunch. That was B lunch. That was B lunch started. Cool. Walked him to class. Class started. Boom, boom. At 11:46 or 11:45, we went to B lunch. Went to lunch. So then, before I went to lunch, I didn't even go to lunch at all that day. So somebody was like, oh, Kimani got that class with Keontae. And I was like, oh my God, like, what I'm supposed to do now? Like, at that point, I already had a gut feeling that stuff was already coming my way. So, boom. So, Markayla, which my friend, Markayla, you know, she was just like, she went in there to go get something. I think attendance. She went in there to go get something, and she came back out, was like, Malisha, they in there sharing messages between you and Keontae. Keontae showing messages between you and Keontae to Kimani, and Kimani showing messages between me and him to Keontae, and I'm just like, so I already knew it was already coming my way. But the thing is, they was both messy for that. I already got on to Kimani about it. I already got on to Keontae. I barely got on to Keontae about it. And the thing is, when it first happened, I started busting out crying because I was like, I know I messed up. And when Kimani did go to Houston, I was talking to Keontae, which I didn't have nobody, you know, to talk to or to deal with or this or that. So I did talk to Keontae. And I made my mind up who I wanted to be with. And that was Keontae. So I was like, you know what, forget about him, da-da-da, or whatever. So then, boom. That happened. So when the bell rings to go to the next class was 6th period. So, remind you, 6th period was always my last period because I can leave school early. So, 6th period was always my last period. Remind you, I went to 6th period, but I went to 6th period late. Right? I went to 6th period late. So, before the bell ring or whatever, we was all in the hallway or whatever case might be, and I was like, you weird. Like, at this point, my legs was shaking, my hands was shaking, like I was about to hit somebody. Like, I was really about to put my hands on somebody that day, but I didn't. So I had to control my anger or whatever, because I had to realize, like, dang, I am a 12th grader, because I can't really do nothing, because if I do something, then that's 45 days of DAP, and I can't graduate. So I was like, dang, I can't do nothing. So I was like, okay, cool. So I told myself, I was in my head, I was like, calm down. But my hands kept shaking. My legs kept shaking or whatever. So Keontae came up to me and I pushed him. Like, I ain't push him hard, y'all. Remind y'all, I did not push this nigga. He thought I pushed him hard, but I didn't even do this. His arms was like this, and I bumped his arm like that. Remind y'all, I did not put my hands on this nigga. I did not push him. I did not do nothing. His arms was like this in my face. My sister called me. But in my face, his arms was like this, so I bumped it. When I bumped it, he thought I put my hands on him, which I did not put my hands on this nigga. My arm bumped your shit. So when I bumped it, you got mad talking about some, you went to 6th period talking about some, oh, I will sue her, da 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 da. Baby, you know what I live. You know what I live, baby. Don't get me wrong. You're not a bad person. I would never doubt you. But don't sit here and try to make it seem like everything that you did for me, I asked for that shit. Don't make it seem like that. Because I didn't. Everything that you bought me for Christmas, everything that you bought me some food, I did not ask for it. It might be one time that I did ask you for, can you buy me some food? But that was one time. Because we was already going into town for something else. So there was only one time that I asked you, and that was that morning when I asked you, boo. So, boom. So that happened or whatever case may be. Fast forward, he went into his spirits, kept talking. This what Key Money's telling me. Key Money is telling me that he keep talking about the situation. I left the situation alone. After that day, after everything happened that day, I left it alone. I left the whole situation alone. Key Money left the whole situation alone. But it was this one little nigga that leave alone. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Why he keep talking about it? I left it alone. I know what I did was wrong. I left it alone. So somebody else came up to me and was like, after this spirit, somebody was like, oh, Malisha, you was talking down bad about you. But not one time I sat here and say, oh, you didn't do this for me. You didn't do this for me. I could have said, hey, you just a bad nigga. I could have said, hey, you wasn't all that for real. Yeah, you 200 pounds. But I didn't. I ain't never talked down bad about it. You can ask my auntie. You can ask my granny. You can ask my mama. You can ask my dad. My daddy don't even know about the situation. You can ask anybody that I talked to that day when it happened. I told my granny I would never, ever talk down bad about that person, because what he did to me, how he treated me was good. I give you a 10 out of 10. But I would never sit here and brag or talk down about you. That's not my character. So of course I'm not gonna sit here and talk down about you. So I left the whole situation alone. So everybody else came up to me and was like, "Mom, she's still talking about it." So I was like, why he keep talking about it if you know what's going on? Fast forward, he texted me, said, we broke, we done. He even texted my mother and said me and her done. While she at work. Remind you, she can't be on her phone while she at work. But you text my mama while she at work, right? Right. But you said I brought my mama into what me and you had going on. I ain't bring my mama into nothing. First of all, you test my mama, right? Second of all, my mama was never on nobody's side. Let's get that understood. Let's get that clear. Because you think my mama was taking my side and this and that, da-da-da-da. First of all, my mama wasn't taking my side. Second of all, she was trying to get her point across to make you understand, to make I understand that we both was in the wrong. Because what I heard, somebody told me that you was talking to your ex. Well, I mean, you in a relationship. And you told him, well, she didn't find out that I was talking. But I did after we broke up, though. So that would make me more talk about the situation. Because you know you dead wrong for that. We both made mistakes. We both have made mistakes. But at the end of the day, have I ever talked down about you? Have I kept bringing up the situation about you? No. So at the end of the day, y'all, no matter what, so we broke up from there. Then fast forward, before we even graduated, it was in May. Before we graduated, I saw him in the hallway or whatever. One of him, it was Keontae, his homeboys, and my cousin Marion. Him and Marion, Keontae and Marion is close. Like this, they like this. So it was him, Marion, and Keontae. It was some Marion friend Cameo. No, it was a Cameo. It was can't think of his name right now, but it was Marion friend that graduated with me. It was him, Marion, and Keontae. It was 3 of them in the hallway. So Kaisha said, Malisha, you better get your ex and your cousin before I really do something to them. So I went in the hallway. I was like, what's going on? And then so the boy that graduated with me, I can't think his name, but the boy that graduated with me, Marion friend, he was like, Malisha, will you ever get Keontae another chance? I was like, no, nigga, like, no. You asking me that? No. And then he had the nerve to say something. He was like, oh, I would never give her another chance. Oh, this, oh, that. He asked me. He asked me. He didn't ask you. If he wanted to ask you, he could have said something to you. But he didn't ask you. He asked me. So, boom. I said, boy, he didn't ask you. He asked me. But I had an attitude with it. And then so he was like, so boom. I was like, so we started talking about what happened between me and Keontae. So he brought up what happened between me and him. Remind you, I started back shaking again. So boom. So he was just like, oh, what she did, you know, I don't mess with that. He said, I don't F with that. So I was like, but baby, you start talking to your ex first. So he was like, oh yeah, what she did, da 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 da. I was like, baby, you talk to your ex first. Okay? But I didn't know about it until after we broke up. And you found out what I did. So I was like, okay, baby, don't make me pull out the messages. I said, baby, don't make me pull out the messages. Because, baby, one time, baby, I had the messages. I said that to scare him. But I still had the messages. Now I got the messages. But then I didn't. But now I got the messages, okay? And I ain't going to say who sent me the messages, but, got the messages now. But, hey. So I kept saying, oh, baby, don't make me pull out the messages because somebody sent me the messages. Somebody screenshot the message to me. I said, baby, don't make me post it on Instagram, honey. Because I might messy, but we'll post it on Instagram. You want to keep doing this? Let's post it. Let's post it to see how you feel. Because you dragged me through the mud. You dragged me through the mud, and I ain't said nothing bad about you. The whole time me and you wasn't together. I didn't say nothing about you. I didn't jug you through the mud. I didn't jug your name through the mud. But baby, let me see how you feel. Let me post these and see how you feel. Right? So that's what I said. He said, what are messages? I said, Keontae, please don't make me. Because I'm not that type of person where I pull out messages and hurt your little ass. Excuse me for my cousin, but hurt your little butt. Don't make me do it. Because I'm not that type of person where I would do that. So I said, Keontae, don't make me do it. Because I got the messages, right? Because I had the messages. Kept saying that. Kept saying it. He said, show him. I was like, nah, because, you know, I ain't trying to hurt your little feelings. So, boom. I walked over there by my third period. Walked over there by my third period class. So, my cousin come out. Marion, he coming out. And Marion was like, Malisha, will you ever give him a chance? I said, no. I said, we can be friends. I said, but listen. I said, if you want to... And I said this in front of Keontae. Before I even went down there to my third period class, I even said this in front of Keontae to Marion. I said, Marion, I said, if you want to be on this nigga's side, be on this nigga's side. I'm just not going to claim you as a cousin no more. I'm just not. I'm just not. Because as a cousin, you're supposed to be like, hey, not too much on her. Or not too much on her. Like, calm down. But you didn't. So that what made me not talk to you until that day that he brought it up again. And then when he brought it up, I said, Marion, if you want to be on this nigga's side, be on this nigga's side. I'm just not going to claim you as my cousin no more. He was like, he was telling Keontae, I'm on my cousin's side because, you know, that's my cousin. I have to see her. I have to be around her. So this is my cousin. I'm going to be on her side. Da, 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 da. Remind y'all. Remind y'all. Nigga, I don't care whose side you on. If you on his side, I'm just not going to claim you as my cousin. And when we is around each other, I'm just not going to claim you as my cousin. That is just a point blank period. So, boom. You know, I was like, okay, cool. You know, stuff happens. Stuff happens. Family always argue. Always. But that side of family is weird. It's weird. So boom. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, Marian, boom. So I was down there by my third period. It was me, Kaisha, and Jalecia. We went down there to my third period. And Marian came out. Marian was like, Manisha, will you ever give him a second chance? I said, I believe in second chance, but him, no. And I was like, well, we can be friends, but other than that, no. Cause what that nigga said, drag me through the dirt and drag my name through the dirt, baby, no. I would never give him a second chance. Never. Ever. But at the end of the day, I still miss him. I still, but that's what pushed us, through this whole thing. And yes, I was mad. Yes, I was sad. Yes, I was like in a depressed mode, because it was just like, dang, why did it have to come down to like this? Like, dang, why did it? So it was just like, yes, I am mad. And I got over it. He got over it. He moved on now. It's time for me to move on and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, this like a Q&A / telling y'all how we broke up / sorry. If Keontae is watching this, I'm sorry that it had to come down to that. I'm sorry that it had to for me to get your attention. This is how I get your attention. But I'm sorry that that me and you had our ups and downs. I'm sorry that I cheated on you, which I did not cheat on you. I cheated on Kimani with you. But I did, when me and you was in a relationship, I did text him. So, text my ex-boyfriend, which Kimani. When me and Keontae was in a relationship, I was texting him. So that was kind of basically like cheating on him. But at the same time, I wasn't. So, at the end of the day, I'm sorry for what I did. Everybody made mistakes. Yes, I believe in second chances. When you ready to talk about what happened, I would love to talk about it. Sorry for everything that I caused you. And yeah. And I feel like you should say sorry to me too, because after what you did, you kind of hurt me, put me in a depression mode, drag my name in the mud. So I feel like you should say sorry too. Yeah, I still love you as a friend. I can't say I love you as a boyfriend or as boyfriend, because it's the fact you did move on, and I respect that. So I still love you as a friend. You allowed to come back out here whenever you want. So just for us to move on about this situation, because I moved on, I'm pretty sure you moved on, but for us to close this chapter, I feel like me and you and my mom should both have a sit down. And well, not my mom, but I feel like me and you both need to have a sit down and stuff like that. But it's still all love. I'm sorry that what I did was wrong. What you did was wrong. But at the same time, like I said at the beginning of my video, everybody made mistakes. So yeah, this is the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up and turn your notification bell on so you can miss no video, so you can't miss no videos that I post every single day, because your girl is dropping back for the rest of 2026. And yeah, y'all, so let's end this video. I love y'all, my squad. And hope y'all enjoyed this story time / Q&A / story time, how me and Keontae broke up. And yeah, I still love him as a friend, still love y'all, still love his mama, you know. I still love him. But yeah. So yeah, everybody made mistakes, but I'm sorry. Make sure you comment down below whatever y'all want a video. If you want a video, pranks, challenges, stuff like that. If y'all want it, comment down below what type of video I should make next. And yeah, y'all, I'm out. Peace.